All right. First time I tried to do this, I had the orientation up and down, and that's not very fun to watch on a screen. So, all right, let's try it. So, here's the thing, everybody. I really wanted to do this so you can see the nice leaves when it looks really nice outside, but the sun is setting. So you can't really see the leaves that well. You know what I mean? I will say, when I get someone on here, I want to see if I sound better doing this without my headphones, and then I'll try it again with my headphones. I don't know if there's any way to go to the wide angle lens. Oh man, that is pretty. Check that out. Wow. Huh. Maybe I should have done it in high def. Would have been nice. But I still feel like these leaves, I looked it up on the Missouri Conservation website, and it says they're still just beginning to turn. It's my OCD to make sure the car is locked. Huh. Hey, person watching, we're going for a walk in the woods tonight. Gonna see how this battery holds up. If it crashes, I guess it's still on there. There's that beautiful bridge. Isn't that so pretty? It's my favorite place in the world, I'm telling you. Yeah, I think it'll be better to do this when it's brighter outside. A lot of this walk is gonna be dark. So, what to talk about on tonight's live stream? I don't know if I'm gonna get enough time at home to do one. And a lot of the time, that's what I do, is I rely on videos to react to. Doing these, I never have an audience, so it'll be kind of different to have an audience. I've never tried live streaming on my phone. This is my first time. And the internet's pretty spotty out here, so it'll be interesting to see how it works. I don't know if I can change my camera. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can walk with me. Look at the woods. You can tell the leaves are starting to change, but nothing too crazy yet. Nothing too crazy yet. Might not go all the way tonight because I don't know. It's already starting to get dark. So I wonder if I could have set this up with the wide angle lens to begin with. Let's see, maybe there's a way where I can do that. Make it a little easier to see. Ah, that's pretty nice. Might be harder to hear me, but it's easier on the old arm. I don't know how the video stabilization is in a live stream. Probably not very good, is my guess. I do like that shot though. That's pretty nice. I'll stream for a little while. get some people in here, and then I'm gonna put my headphones in and see if you can hear me better that way. So for politics, let's check in on the politics. Where would I like to be right now for politics? I'd like to be at that Schiller Institute conference in New York City. I've never been in New York City. I'm a country boy out here in these woods. See? Hey, that's a pretty nice shot. I like that. We just a country boy out in them woods, you know? Just a country boy out in them woods. I'd like to be in New York City with my other anti-imperialist friends. Jackson Hinkle, Infrared, Haas, Caleb Maupin, the Holy Trinity of American communism. I'd like to be with my boys, but I about drained the old wallet going to Kansas and going to Chicago. I did go to a 4-year-old's birthday party in the park this afternoon. That was interesting. Bet you guys didn't go to that. So enjoy your little conference about the World Land Bridge, but I was at a 4-year-old's birthday party, so yeah, it was nice. They had nice finger foods, some birthday cake. It was beautiful. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Check this out. That's kind of pretty. Yeah, so there might just be some quiet moments on this stream. I always think of these wood walks on camera as sort of Jungian active imagination, a brain dump. And as you guys know from previous walks in the woods I've done, I don't really like to get other people on video, on camera. Because I don't know if I was walking in the woods if I would want to be on camera on the internet. Probably not. So, here's my favorite bridge. See how far out this thing goes. About like that. Got a pretty view over here. Check that out. Antonio, I'm not doing push-ups tonight. Just not feeling it. I hope I do this whole stream and no one comes on here. That'd be fun and humbling. I've realized from doing this for a while that you're always worried about putting yourself out on the internet before you do. Like somebody's gonna find your very first thing and be like, canceled, he's on the internet. He's talking, it's over. And then you start doing it and you realize quickly, if you can get someone to pay attention to you, that's pretty amazing. It doesn't happen very often. It's kind of hard to do, especially now that anyone on the planet can whip out their phone, open the YouTube app, and hit go live. Got about 1 billion people competing with you at this point. Nice evening stroll. Hey, somebody dropped by for a second and then they left. I don't blame them. You got a lot of competition on this YouTubes. A lot of people to check in with. Why would you hang out with the guy in the woods? That would be weird. Maybe you think it's pretty. It is kind of pretty. I think so. That's why I came out here. It's nice. Nice, relaxing getaway on a Saturday evening. All the family obligations have been taken care of. It's time for Dad to go for a walk in the woods and talk to the internet. That's the dream, living the dream. It's fun to watch people pop in and then hear what you have to say and then leave. I appreciate even any moment, a single moment of your time, sir. It's nice. It'll also be interesting to see if this video shows up as it starts to get dark. I kind of doubt it. Anyway, let's start talking about a topic. What's going on in the world? I just watched a great stream from Garland Nixon. Really appreciated that stream. Garland talked about where to begin. He talked about the people running America right now and how they're chickens. They're able to do a little bit of this or that, but they can't fully get themselves to commit to anything. Especially not nuclear war. Nuclear war is scary. When you're the ruling class, which I really appreciated his take on the issue. Because I always just assume these people are evil Satanists and nuclear war is what they've always had planned. But I feel the countries that develop their own nuke to keep them in check knew what was going on. Absolutely. So that's the only thing they respond to is fear. They're cowards and they're interested in their own self-preservation. So that makes them afraid to hit the button. If they have even the slightest inkling that the person in the country that they're hitting the button of also has a button and is willing to fire right back at them. That makes things a little more terrifying when you're consumed with self. They don't live for anything larger than self, so you can use that against them. This stream will be uglier than my other ones. I believe it streams only at 720p, I think. Let's see what these little dots do. Mute microphone, share, save highlight. What's this fancy button do? I can put filters on it. Dance party. Ooh. Dawn. That's nice. Nice filter. Well, let's just show it for what it is. Normal. Beam. Normal. Let's keep that normal. Film noir. Normal. Alright. All messages are visible. Huh. Top chat. Welcome to live chat. Okay. Kind of interesting. I don't know if that'll stay up there, if it'll go away. But whatever. Guess I can just see the chat now. It's kind of interesting. It's humbling starting out with the YouTube channel. But it's also kind of like, I kind of like the slow pace because it's kind of like the money story I've told you guys in years past. Not years past, streams past. But if you make money too quick and you're not ready for it, it's gonna flitter away from you pretty fast. I feel like starting out on YouTube as a complete unknown is very similar. If I knew there was like 1,000 people watching me right now, or 10,000, it'd make me really, really spooked. But knowing there's just a handful, if anybody, it's pretty nice. Makes me think of a joke. If a man streams in the forest and no one's there to watch him, did he really stream? I don't know. Who knows? It's Saturday night. People are out doing fun stuff. I'm a dead set. I need to make peace with this. I am a middle-aged man. The good book allots us 70 years on Earth, and I'm 35. Woo! That's halfway. Middle-aged. I will say for you younger cats, if you watch this back, it's kind of liberating. Getting a little older's kind of liberating, especially the halfway point. You're like, what do I got to lose? Am I gonna get embarrassed on the internet? I'm coasting towards death. What's it gonna hurt? You know? Can't hurt that bad. Woo! Hello. Might as well try. Get on there, say a few things. But what's been on my mind this week? Well, let you guys know. I'm a crypto dude. I like that. And I've been working hard at getting my crypto taxes exactly straight. I hired 2 people to help me. Gave them quite a bit of money. And then at the end of the day, they just kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, I don't know. I've done quite a few transactions. I used an exchange that when I asked them where they were located, they said Estonia. When I looked at who hosts this, it's CoinEx if you're interested. It says Tokyo, Japan. I don't really know. It's not in the US. I made peace with that. But they had a great opportunity back in the day. They were one of the first exchanges where you could buy Avalanche. And this was when the token was about $3. And I talked to my tax person and they said, well, I've never really dealt with this, but I'm sure we can fill it out. You just have to file the FBAR, foreign bank account report, and let them know. So I said, cool. You know, why not? Why live in fear? Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna be honest at the end of all this and figure out how much I made and pay the taxes I need to, because with my politics, you don't want to give them an easy one, like tax issue. So I tried my best to figure it out. I had used about, I think, 5 exchanges. I'd done some arbitrage opportunities. I did a little DeFi, but mostly it was on CoinEx. So I used the CoinEx to export all the trades and tried my best to figure it out. I spent about 50 hours, I think, trying to crunch all the numbers, and it just wouldn't come out correctly. It kept saying I made a whole bunch of money, when actually, this year at least, I lost money. So I knew for a fact that I had lost money, but it was just almost impossible to get the calculations to come out correctly. So Coin Tracking is the website I like to use to figure this out. And they had an option where you can pay a guy to help you. Price was pretty steep. It's $1,000. But it was a big hit to my trading account. I figured if they can do it and figure it out, and I can have it done correctly, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can just know every year I gotta set $1,000 aside to do my crypto taxes, that's a steal of a deal. So I end up on a Google Hangout call with Roman from Poland. Roman from Poland, a CPA, I guess, from cointracking.info is the website. Me and Roman do about 50 emails back and forth, trying to get all this straightened out. Okay? He keeps telling me that the data I'm exporting from the exchange is not correct. It's saying I bought a lot of coins for $0, which I don't know about you guys, but there's not many cryptos that cost $0, especially if it's something like Bitcoin. So you can just tell by looking at it that something's off, you know? But I've done a lot of transactions. It was like 9,000. Over 9,000. So we got to get it just right. He keeps telling me I didn't export them correctly. I'm following his directions to the T. And they just won't come out correctly. Oh, this is a beautiful part. I love this part. Yeah, we need some more sunshine, I believe. Anyway, so he eventually says you just need to reach out to CoinEx and tell them you need your complete transaction history, including withdrawals and deposits. Because the way the CSV file pumps out of CoinEx, it doesn't tell you your withdrawals and deposits. So I send CoinEx the file we've been working with, that Roman, who I paid $1,000 on cointracking.info, says is incorrect. And they email me back. Their English is getting better from the last time I talked to their support team. I take my hat off to you boys doing a better job of speaking English. They tell me, no, Mr. McConnell, you have exported those transactions exactly correctly. We can't do anything to help you. Have a nice day. Now, I write back Roman and tell him that. What do you think Roman writes me back? Nothing. So, at this point in my life, I'm feeling kind of like an idiot. An idiot without a $1,000 and without a fully fledged tax report. I've already filed an extension with my local tax lady at H&R Block, but because I can't get Roman's report, she doesn't feel comfortable filing the return. So I ask, what can I do? She says, I don't know, but I don't want to do it. Why don't you call FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Division at the IRS? Now, I told her, I've watched enough Police shows to know that when you're in the interrogation room of the seedy Chicago Police Department, the only words out of your mouth should be lawyer. And it's rather troubling when your tax person is telling you to call the IRS yourself and maybe pray. Now I have generalized anxiety disorder, so it's been a rough week. I'm sure it'll all work out one way or the other. Maybe they have streams in prison. We'll see. But I'm just a school teacher trying to make a little extra money trading crypto. And that's the thing. It's in this very kind of weird gray area, you know? There's not really explicit rules. They say they should all be treated as a stock trade. But if you know crypto at all, it's not like a stock trade. A stock trade, at the end of trading stock, you go under your account, you click on reports, and it will print off a 1099 for you. Nothing exists like that in crypto. If you say you send Bitcoin in between 4 wallets, you send it to an exchange, you sell it for US dollars, you buy Ethereum with it, you send it to Uniswap, you swap it on Uniswap for Avalanche, you send that Avalanche to Pangolin, you sell your Avalanche on Pangolin for more Pangolin, you swap your Pangolin into DeFi token number 1, you swap that back into Avalanche, you send the Avalanche to the exchange, you sell it. At this point, you're relying heavily on the record of what's being sent from place to place. And unless you're writing down all 9,000 yourself, which that's even hard to do, because some of the places don't really say it can be on the blockchain. But at the end of the day, the problem I've run into is it appears that CoinEx did not keep very good records of my own trades. So when I sat down and I paid probably $1,500 at this point, because I bought the pro software myself and tried to figure it out. And then I paid someone there to help me figure it out. And they just say, well, the information's incorrect, you know. So it says you made $2 million or something like this. And I can tell you, that is not correct. I lost what for me was a sizable amount of money. So I would like to just file that and move on with my life. But this is what you get for trying to make a little bank off the new hot technology. And the thing is, nobody really seems to know what the law is regarding any of this. I would just like to talk to someone and have them kind of explain to me what they want from me. But at this point, thumbs up to an audit. If you can figure it out, IRS, hats off to you. If not, I've always wanted to catch up on my reading, you know. I'm sure it'll be fine. They want to put somebody with 3 dependents, school teacher, in the slammer over some crypto trades. Okay. That'll be good PR. I don't think they care at this point. But hopefully they have a heart. We'll see. Doesn't really matter. So that's where my head's been at. That's my own personal talk to the camera therapy. I'm gonna meet with my tax lady on Monday, give them a call, see if we can get it straightened out. If not, I'm gonna meet with another tax person on Tuesday, see if they can try to figure it out. We'll go from there. But there's no sense in borrowing trouble, right? It's gonna work out how it works out. Tomorrow's Sunday. Got plenty to do on Sunday. Plenty of catching up to do in my school work life. We got some data to turn in on Monday. Data from an assessment. Now, it's especially funny in English, collecting data, because no one that teaches English that I know of wants anything to do with data. We would be teaching math or science at that point. But it's not really how it works. You gotta do what you gotta do. I think we might cut this one short today. We'll walk across the Dent County land bridge, turn around and go back. Here's my favorite part on the lake. Walk up to the water's edge. Ah, yes. Beautiful times. Yep, it's getting dark. I'd say 30 more minutes and we won't be able to see. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? I wanted you to see that sunset. If you ever watch this. It's a beautiful one. It is a beautiful one. That guy's just taking it in too. Pretty. There it is. Nice. That's the one. Have to watch that looking back. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna stream in the dark. I don't care. We're gonna walk around this place in the dark. See if we get attacked by vampires. Probably not. But maybe. I kind of like doing these streams because I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And I think it's scary to do that, but it's also kind of freeing because you just got to have faith that God will show up and give you an idea. He always seems to. People might think it's interesting. People might not. I do think it's kind of interesting that people that build a following, people come back to these kind of videos early on and rewatch them all. I know I've done that for people before. It's just you kind of start to like a personality and you want to see how it all started, you know? So I try to remind myself that we've all got just as much reason to be on here as anybody else, so. You know, it don't hurt nothing. Just show up and try your hand. Somebody will get something out of it. Somebody will get something out of it. I watched, what did I watch this morning? I woke up, I got the kids, they watched Xavier Riddle on PBS. I listened to Gonzalo Lira argue with Michael Tracy about the definition of words, mainly. Oh, this is pretty. It's more pretty than me. Let's look at that. Huh. Trying to get the balance right. It's got kind of like a fog over it. Let me try to wipe off. See? No. There's nothing on the camera. Kind of like the idea of streaming until my phone dies. It seems kind of cool. Like a cool idea. I feel like you put some time in, you know? And I'll be so glad when I get these taxes figured out, one way or the other. But that's the thing. I'm a school teacher. We don't teach kids how to file taxes in school. It's like taxes are like the equivalent of like having to intercede with the priest to read the Bible in the Middle Ages. You can't do it yourself. I don't know, I could, but I just have way too many questions. Like, W-2, why that acronym? That's my first question. Work, is that W, work? Why 2? Is there a W1? Is there a W3? Why such a weird label? W2. 1099. Why that? Is there 1098? Is there 1097? Is this all? Are there forms all the way from 2 to 1099? Do I need to learn about all of those? Is there like a 1076? What are all these forms? You know, who knows? It's a pro tip for anybody that ever wants to do a YouTube stream like this. Whatever orientation mode you start out your phone in, that's the one you're gonna get stuck in. So my first attempt at this, I tried to make it, I think it was vertical, and then I switched it to horizontal, and it told me, no, you don't. Don't even try it. Jerk. Don't even try it. I think there are certain stipulations on mobile streaming. I think it was like only 50 people can watch you or whatever, which for me at this point that would be a godsend to have 50 people watch. But I don't know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I don't know. Maybe it's pushing it less. It doesn't really matter. I just always think it's kind of annoying when YouTube people talk this way. Who cares? Oh, the algorithm's cheating me. Who cares? Who cares? You know, it is what it is. Get better at what you do. Come up with more interesting stuff to talk about. It's gonna get way dark on here in a minute. I've decided to go for it. Go for it, like Pickles the cat in 500 Days of Summer. Just go for it. Pickles goes for it. That's a dead cat. I think we'll make it. There's a big rock. I usually jump on that and then jump over. That's a little much with this setup here. I'll be honest, I've been cheating on my keto. I made it from October 1st to I think October 13th, almost 2 weeks. The tax stuff started hitting. I got a little depressed. And they had tacos Thursday night after parent-teacher conference. I broke down. I needed a taco. The sun has set, but our bench we can set on still. There you go. Here's one of our favorite spots. Right here. Count to 11. We didn't count to 11 back at our other favorite spot. That's okay. Come on, focus. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's keep going. Up off the bench. My personal theory about putting yourself out on the internet is that every single person is so unbelievably weirdly unique that if you just keep showing up, eventually you'll find a following of people that like your weird uniqueness. We'll see if my theory comes true. There's one other person I'm thinking of specifically in the town where I live. And she makes some of the weirdest, most unique videos of anyone I've ever seen. And I'm so glad she does it. I mean, genuinely. So, that's the theory. We'll see how it works. I've been anxious to try out. I got the new Apollo Duo Twin X. I splurged for it. New recording setup. Now, the interesting thing about this setup is it will allow you to load up classic preamps as part of the rig, and all the sound effects, they run outside of your computer on the device, so they don't eat up any of the CPU. They have a special kind of processor called a Shark chip, and you can change the preamp. And I tried a lot of these vintage 60s preamps. It comes with two main ones. I think they're called the Universal Audio like 610A and B. The A was used in a lot of classic 60s albums like the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. I think they said Jimi Hendrix used it, Neil Young, just a bunch of 60s artists. And the B version is like the modern version. It's been used by Adele, and you can buy all these classic rack mount units. Like you can buy a Tube Tech, I think it's called a CL1B. It's a compressor used by like almost every rapper on every hip hop album you've ever seen. You can buy the Neve preamp that is also used in that combination. But for me, I really like just the stock preamp without turning any of those. They're called Unison preamps. They kind of hijack the preamp of the Apollo, and so you can get that exact sound, or pretty damn close to it. It has 2 milliseconds of latency, which is basically nothing. And yeah. After that, though, you can layer all these classic compressors. And from all the videos I've watched, after your preamp, which the way I like it sounding is just to not put anything in that Unison preamp. Just keep using the Apollo Duo preamp, which is really clean and modern. And it took a lot for me. I still don't know if I'm there yet. I'm so used to digital recording that you just record a clean signal in. You make sure your gain's not too high. You record a clean signal in, and then I bet a bunch of you guys will be familiar with like GarageBand. Once you've got it in GarageBand, a vocal, you can change it to different sound effects. Like there's the, oh, what are they? There's the narration vocal, there's a compressed vocal, and this is all being done after the fact, which I've been most used to in my life. Probably the thing I edited audio the most was Adobe Audition. You put a little reverb on there, you could have fun with the effects. But I guess the professional way to do it, which I'm learning now that I bought this Apollo, is to run through a bunch of rack mount units first, compressors, equalizers, so you get a really nice signal before it ever hits tape. And that makes sense because classically you wouldn't add effects. You couldn't really, I don't think you could add effects after the tape. Maybe you could. But you would try to get it to sound exactly like you wanted before it hit the tape. That was the idea. So it's weird now because you can do that beforehand with these rack mount emulations, or you can do it after the fact, which for me, I'm really non-committal when it comes to my art. That's why I do like live streaming. Hey, Bismuth, can you hear me okay? That's why I do like live streaming, because you can't really take it back. Once it's on tape, it's on tape. The most you can do is delete it. I'm going for a walk tonight, Bismuth. I'm here at my favorite lake. I've been streaming about 50 minutes to myself, and it's been okay. I'm cool with that. We're just starting out. But I was talking to myself about the Apollo Duo and what I've been learning about it. So it's been a lot to wrap my head around, the idea that you will compress your vocal before you ever record it. You can't undo that. Once it's on tape, it's on tape. And there's a little button in the Apollo mixer where you got to click it, and I think last time I didn't have it clicked. You got to click it to make it go through the mixer onto the recording device. But then I get analysis paralysis because I almost miss the old way where you could turn effects on, turn them off. You're not committed to anything. But by running it through effects first, compressors, equalizers, whatever you record is going to be there. You can add more effects to it later, but it's going to be there to begin with. So I started trying out different effects, and it appears the Universal Audio guys recommended trying 3. Most people get my headphones on. I'm gonna buy some Shure headphones, Bismuth. I can get a good set for $100, and that's my next purchase, so I can get things sounding good before I put it out to the stream. But yeah, as far as the rack mount units go so far, is you first run it into an 1176, which is a really fast compressor. And by playing around with it, I didn't really understand it until last night. Last night, it made sense to me. The compressor, it doesn't really change how my voice sounds at all, but it keeps it from clipping. And then you can turn up your gain quite a bit. And I tried it out. You can turn up your gain like as much as you want and it won't clip. It starts to get incredibly distorted, but it still won't clip. So that's the 1176. Classic compressor. Once you hear it, you can tell it's used in radio all the time. It's just a nice way to take the peaks off and level out the sound. Then what a lot of people recommend running into is a Teletronics LA2A, which is a very slow compressor. It's an optical compressor, and it will smooth out the vocal into a buttery feel. Now, since I see everybody else using this, I'm the kind of guy that wants to use what the pros are using. But I swear to God, it sounds better off than on. So far, it sounds best with just the 1176 on. I tried one last effect. It's called a Pultec. And everybody says all you do is just throw the Pultec equalizer on. And the Pultec's used on like multiple famous records. Everybody says just turn the Pultec on. Sounds incredible. Now I've made it to where the Pultec sounds good if I don't turn the LA2A on. But so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I went back. It's got like 5 versions of the 1176. These guys are just total nerds at Universal Audio, which I love. And they've went through meticulously and digitized every single one of these classic compressors. But then for me, I don't know which one to pick. Do you pick revised version A, B? Do you pick the special edition? Do you pick the blue stripe? Do you pick the legacy model? And I just get stuck and I don't make anything. A peak limiter. Yeah, see, and then that's an interesting difference too, because like the LA2A has a switch, and one switch is compress and one switch is limit. So it's interesting to think of, I guess the compressor is squishing the audio in a way, and a limiter is just taking off the peaks, from what I understand. Oh, that's pretty. Now we got some light. Look at that. Let's just turn around and look at that for a minute. Nice. Nice. Beautiful. I've come down here since I was a little kid. We used to have, the church would take us down here over to that driveway and we'd fish right over there. So, a lot of roots in this little part of the country for me. That's pretty. Looks almost like magical. Anyway, yeah, I guess the compressor will compress it all together. I don't know if it brings up your quieter parts, if it kind of like evens them out. Now, then some of them are called a leveler, like the Teletronics is called a leveler. I actually think the 1176 is called a leveler too. So what's the difference between a limiter, a leveler, and a compressor? And you can already tell that I'm stuck in the minutia of this BS, and I'm making nothing. And that's why I always liked punk rock. Punk rock, you get a guitar, you learn some power chords, and you turn up your amp until your ears almost bleed, and then you make a song. And I remember hearing how punk rock was kind of like antithetical Well, look it up, man. The Teletronics, if you Google Teletronics LA2A, it's like a $5,000 piece of equipment, and it's called a leveler. And then on the equipment, there's a switch on the left, and one says limiter, and one says compressor. So you can flip between the two. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just stuck, and I haven't made anything. I got a book I really want to record, but I'm afraid to record it because, oh man, this is really hard to see. Your comment went away. Huh. I don't know how to see it when I'm on my phone. That sucks. Oh well, it'll be okay. Oh, here it is. I can scroll back up. I met some punk musicians who recorded their whole record in mono. I was like, guys, you didn't pan anything? And they were like, so? Yeah, I like that. I like the punk rock aesthetic. I like that they were trying to be, I heard someone say they were trying to be anti-Pink Floyd. They were just like, let's just make it. And I respect that. I respect that. And I need to do that because, well, there's one guy I really love all the audiobooks he's recorded. He has a channel. It's called Wisdom of the Ages. And it just sounds like from what I've listened to, it sounds like he has just some basic compressor running. Like an 1176, it sounds like. His voice is very boomy. It's very loud. It's very even. But right in the middle of one of his audiobooks, you could audibly hear his air conditioner kick on. And I just kept right on listening through the book because I was 3/4 of the way through and I thought it was kind of endearing. And oh, you're good, buddy. I'll see you later, Bismuth. Enjoy your Saturday night, man. Young man in Minneapolis, St. Paul, wherever it is. I don't remember. Could be Albany, New York. I thought it was somewhere. Enjoy your evening, sir. Set the night on fire. I'm gonna walk through the dark woods alone. Can't remember what I was talking about. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I should do. If I should keep walking in the dark woods alone, we'll do some Blair Witch Project, or if I should head back to my car. You can't see anything. Maybe I'll head back to my car, and that way I can plug this in and get my 2-hour live stream in for the night, for the week. And then maybe tomorrow I'll walk the trail again and try to record. Based in the Woods, number 5, high def. So far I've kind of settled on the settings I like. I like to record in 4K so you can see the pretty outside. And I like 30 frames because it looks quote unquote normal to me. Yeah, this is what I figured would happen, is it would get so dark that you couldn't see any of the video. So I'm gonna keep streaming in the darkness, and I'm gonna walk back on the gravel path so I can see where I'm going. And it's kind of like a weird stripe at the top of my camera. I think that's probably YouTube. Yeah, where I can see how many people are here. We've been going for an hour. Maybe we'll drive around for a while. That could be cool. Drive in circles and get more live streaming. I like the idea of just showing up and going. Press play, but I'm telling you guys, no one's actually listening, but I'm telling you, to be recorded for posterity. I've realized, for me, how vitally important it is for me to have a routine. I would like ultimately for it to be my own self-imposed routine, but a routine nonetheless. I heard that Immanuel Kant had a routine so ingrained that people in the town he lived in the same town his whole life, they could set their clocks by when Kant walked by the church or showed up at the post office. Amazingly prolific man. We're going back across the bridge here, so I didn't get my 11 breaths in at our favorite spot, so I'm gonna go back here or flip the camera around. You can see there's one bright star out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And off we go. Man, it is dark. It's getting dark. I haven't been given nearly as many hours at the pharmacy. I had to pull back. My blood pressure was getting high. I missed seeing my kids. So, doctor told me before I put you on medicine, I want you to quit working 7 days a week for months on end. And so I'm trying that. I had yesterday off, today off, tomorrow off. It's kind of nice to have a few days off. And I don't know, if you like to trade, it's so obvious that there's no money in working. There's just not. You work all day, you beat your brains out, you make $100. You buy the right stock at the right time, you make more than that in a year, in a couple days. It's pretty amazing how it works. Boy, that is pretty, isn't it? Let's look at it by itself. Oh man, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's about the only thing you can see anymore. But it's there. Yep. It's pretty cool how you can stream on your phone. My buddy Bismuth dropped by and said hello. That was nice. That was nice of him. I like that. I'd count this as a success. I would. Count it as a success so far. I've been really wanting to get into dialectics. I got into that through Marx, of course. Dialectical materialism. But I really want to understand Hegel's version as well. Would his be dialectical idealism? Is that what Hegel believed? I don't know. Who knows? It looks like a fall night, doesn't it? It feels like one. Still got to do my shorts for the day. Try to do 3 shorts a day. 15-second one, a 30-second one, sometimes a little longer, and then a minute-long one. I like to do the minute-long one first because then that gives me ideas of what would be good to compress for these smaller versions. It's kind of nice how that works. You can see that one star, barely, right there in the middle. I still feel like they got a ways to go with these little cameras. You could still make them. They still don't look like the human eye. Sometimes with a lot of light, they look even better than the human eye. But a lot of the time they don't. These first few streams are fun because I'm just learning by doing. And that's what I was going to tell you guys before I went across the bridge is I want to get a morning routine. I've realized routine, it's my ADD. Garland Nixon, I have it too, but my morning routine, I always come back around. It's a big canvas I'm weaving. I would like to wake up at 4:44. The angel number means good things are happening. And then I would like to do any sort of exercise whatsoever. Go in, I want my coffee made, I set it for 4 a.m. so I can go in, pour me a big pot of coffee, put some clothes on, and just go for a walk. I want to go for a walk from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And then, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I want to record 1 hour on my audiobook. Or if I've recorded it, I'll listen to it back and edit the video to sync up with the scanned book. So, I feel like every couple weeks, or maybe every week if it's a short book, or maybe every month or a couple months if it's a very long book, I could have a very high quality audiobook up online. And I feel like in my spirit, in my soul, that's what God is leading me to do. And I watched a video online today that said if you ever want to accomplish your goals, don't tell people about them. But in this case, I'm already on YouTube. I'm already doing things like this. I've already done one. So I don't think it's too crazy to share an idea. And I know I will do this because that of everything I've listened to on YouTube, the main things I listen to are political commentary, Caleb Maupin, Garland Nixon, Gonzalo Lira, his arch nemesis, Scott Ritter, Haas of Infrared, Jackson Hinkle, Jimmy Dore. I can do that all day long, especially if I have someone else to bounce ideas off of. Other than that, though, I love to listen to audiobooks online. The Master Key Society, Wisdom of the Ages. These are amazing channels, and I want to add to that library. There's a lot of books out there that just don't exist on the internet yet. I feel like I want to make the book that I would want to listen to. And, one of these books recorded by, I think, Barry of Wisdom of the Ages. I don't know Barry's last name. I wish I did, though, because he's fantastic. He recorded The Science of Being Great by Wallace Wattles. And I was listening to it today. He had a great shout out to Eugene Debs about what a man of Christ, Socialist Party candidate Eugene Debs was. I love that. And he also said, he quoted Jesus, that to be a great man is to serve. And he talks about how in the world, people often think that to be a great man is to be served by others. To be at the point where other people will do what you want. But he talked about how actually what you really want. There's a car coming by. It's a spooky looking thing. There it goes. We survived. What you actually want is to serve other people. There's another one. Looks like I'm in a horror film. Survived another one. I am the weird dude on the side of the road. That's what really makes you great. Hey, we're back to the car, and we can really see that star out now. That's cool. He quoted, to be great is to serve. And I feel that's a great way I can serve, is to make books and put them online that would really serve me to read them. And I feel they'd serve others to have access to them. But then I get analysis paralysis again. I've talked about this before. Should I do 24 frames? Should I do 30 frames? Should I do 60 frames? I swear 60 frames just looked easier on the eyes. But that could totally be my own brain playing tricks on me. But it is the highest quality. If you can do 60, why not? You know? Take twice as long to render, but it's a well-deserved break after doing all that work, and then it's up there. Somebody wants to download it and make it less frames, they can do that. Oh, I decided to sit down here on the bench for a second. I think I'm gonna count 11 more breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, go back and get in the car and you can see some light of me for a while. How about that? Yeah, this was a good call. I'm glad I didn't do the high def because we just would have got high def darkness for a lot of this stream. And that's not any fun. High def darkness. I feel like I'm already starting to cut corners. Just gonna do Base in the Woods every month. I know I did one in September. I think I did 2 in September. Maybe 2 in August, 1 in September. I can't remember. October. I just want to do it when the leaves look the prettiest. And according to the website, they're just starting to turn now, so we're not fully there yet. Okay. Back in the car. Let me try to plug this in. Let's turn some lights on. Flip this around. Yeah. Light behind you. Okay. Oh, a little tired after that. Let's see if I can get this out without turning it off. Let's see. Let's pop it out. Did I do it? Yep, it didn't turn off. So let's like that. And let's plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Those of you from the 90s. And it's just a chilling stream. This stream's kind of just for me to keep up the fact that I didn't purge some of my own thoughts a little bit and go from there. Yeah, you can still see me okay like that. A leveler is just a slow compressor, says Sam. Thank you, Sam. So that's why they call the LA2A a leveler. Slow compressor. I wonder why you'd want a slow compressor. What is the advantage to that? I don't know. Still have a lot of audio stuff to learn. Still have about 40 minutes to stream. Kind of want to put target the phone speaker. That makes sense. Sam's a good guy. He gives good advice. I'm lucky to have him in my life. I don't know if this is working. I'm going to... What? I don't want Siri on. It's pretty sticky, maybe. No, I don't want Siri on. I can't tell if I'm still live. Is that correct? No, it says I'm still live. I'm okay. I don't know how to tell. I'll take a picture. It's being real wonky. Trash that picture. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It's an experiment. We're going to go back and listen to it. So I'm gonna drive somewhere where there's some light, and maybe I don't have to have these lights on anymore. So I'm gonna go find a spot more in the middle of town and try that. Uh-oh, selfie stick. But yeah, that's my idea. From 6 to 7 in the morning, I'll work on my book. And then at 7, hop in the shower and get ready for work. And maybe spend another hour at night. But I don't know. Night's kind of for my kids. They really like to play with Dad. So, but as you get older, it's hard to find quiet time to do what you want to do. But it is nice with that compressor and leveler, and it's a nice way. I don't have to scream into the microphone. I can just talk into it now, and I'll be able to record what I want to record. I've seen very few people do what I want to do on YouTube. I have various ideas. When I start to get in the habit of live streaming at home, when I really figure it out, for my intro, instead of playing some copyrighted music, I'm just going to make a beat. I'm going to make a beat live and groove to it for like 30 minutes. And then we'll hop into the stream, do some political commentary, share with you what I've been learning from various books I've been reading, and go from there. But I think, but yeah, of all the people I think who are kind of going to do what I do, Socialism for All comes close. That guy, ugh, I don't know what he's up to. I always say anybody that doesn't show their face online is, I'm pretty sure, a Fed. Except maybe like Donkey. But Donkey has shown his face before, so you know who he is. You guys know my face. It's fine. But he'll do audiobooks and he'll do live streams. And he mainly just critiques people in his live stream, it seems like. That's all I ever hear from him, is critiquing other people on the left. And it's cringe, honestly. I mean, I don't cancel him. Do what you're doing, man. Marketplace of ideas. But it's not my cup of tea. And I don't appreciate some of the things he says about my friends, but he probably wouldn't appreciate some of the things I said about his. So it is what it is. But yeah, he comes close. Mine's going to be kind of a mix of like, oh, what's his name? I really like Spell. Spell will do really cool jam sessions and like Ableton Live. Mix of Socialism for All. At least how he does audiobooks. So ideally, my channel would be a mix of like Spell or You Suck at Producing, Caleb Maupin, Infrared, Jackson Hinkle, Russell Brand type stuff. And then Wisdom of the Ages, Master Key Society, bouncing back and forth between a Marxist-Leninist text, and a spiritual new thought work. That's the idea, at least. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll go just fine. I think taking a step confidently in the direction of your dreams, the universe will open doors where there were only walls before. Follow your bliss, says Joseph Campbell. Follow your bliss. I've wanted to do this for a long time, Now we're doing it. Slowly but surely, we're going to do it. Let me tell you guys about some of my favorite records. Let's do hip hop first. I got hip hop on the mind. Nas's Illmatic, considered the greatest hip hop album ever on almost every hip hop list, and I agree. It's maybe not my favorite, but I never minded being put on, and that says a lot for a record. You're just like, man, I don't mind at all if you put that one on. I can't ever think when it's came on, I'm like, put something else on. It just never happens. It's a great record. What else? Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt is also fantastic. I don't like it all the way through. Not like Illmatic. I mean, it's pretty good, but not all the way through. What else? Girl Talks, Feed the Animals. Probably my favorite dance album. Always loved that one on at a party. Always a good time. When it came out, we thought it would be dated immediately. And it's just his ability to cut is so good that it's timeless, man. It's timeless. Yeah. I'm falling apart here. Kind of light downtown, but I don't know. Find another place. It's been a dead stream on mobile. It's okay. Like I said, I'm mainly doing this for me. Got about 30 more minutes I want to get in to see what comes to the brain. Get it out there. Something cool to just look back at, watch. Be like, hey, I made something. Even if it was that. I just hit record. And that was okay. That was okay. Oh, man. Caffeine's starting to wear off today. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm going to keep looking. I don't like parking in the middle of the town. I want to be out on the edge of town. Like a Bruce Springsteen song. Darkness on the edge of town. We don't want darkness. We want light on the edge of town. Got an idea where we might be able to go. Let's place some Truckers Park. A little bit out of town. We are all the work of your hand. Isaiah 64:8. It's a good verse, church. Okay. There's the den where the local nerds hang out. I'm glad they do. I'm glad they have their own place to chill in this small little town. Beware, scarecrows invading. Okay. Okay. Oh, boy. I got a nice place. I don't really want to sit around there, though. I think I want to go there. It's hard to see the screen through my gear shift is like right here. Right over here. It's hard to see. But the camera's over here, so you can see me okay. Yeah, I wish I could be with my boys at the Schiller Institute. That would be fun. New York, New York. I've never been to New York. I'm trying to think of the furthest east I've ever been. Went to Chicago. I've been there twice. Once when I was 14, and once when I was 35, a couple months ago. That's crazy. 21 years apart. Never been to New York City. I think the furthest east I've ever been was Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I went there on some trip in junior high, I think, for fun. One year we went to Gatlinburg. It was called Academic Voyagers. We went to Gatlinburg. Another time we went to Chicago. And I remember I kind of got like culture shock at Chicago because we went to this restaurant, and there was this restaurant in Chicago where they'd be mean to you on purpose, and that really tripped me out. Being from this little small town where everybody's nice to each other all the time, even if it's fake. So, but my second trip, loved Chicago. Every place was nice. Granted, I only went to like the major parts, so I didn't really see any crime. I was like preparing myself for just Chirac, as they call it, but I think you have to go off the beaten path to find that. To find Chirac off the beaten path. You know, there's another place I might check out. We used to call this the Spot, but I don't know if you can still get to it or if it's very bright. We can check it out though. The Spot. It's like an old radio tower. Place where we can chill and talk for just a minute before this thing's all over. I'm interested to listen back and see if the old AirPods sound better or worse. Sometimes they sound pretty. Sometimes they sound really good. Sometimes they sound horrible. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I haven't been out here in a minute. Still out here. It's changed at all. Nope. Looks just like old times. So, takes you back. I'll show you what it looks like. This is it. It's the old radio tower. That sign says no trespassing, operations licensed by the federal government. Persons vandalizing this facility will be persecuted under applicable federal, state, and local laws. FCC registration not required for this tower. Well, I'm not going in there. I'm just going to sit here and talk to you for a second. There is a street light, but it is not on, so it is pitch black out here, which kind of defeats the purpose of us coming out here. It's out here in the middle of nowhere. Yes, it is. So I'm going to keep going. We're going to go try one other spot. We got 2 likes on this stream. That's... Oh, Siri. Shut up. 2 likes on the stream. That's generous. That's generous for almost 100 minutes. I'm not really joking. Every like is grateful. Grateful for every like. It's kind of amazing that you can just drive around and talk to literally everyone in the world if they want to. Hey, Lump of Logic, how are you? Did you make it to the Schiller Institute tonight? Did you get to go? I am driving on back roads in my hometown. I'm checking out my old high school haunts. It's kind of fun. I went for a walk around the lake earlier and just talked to myself a little bit. I like to do these streams, a little self-counseling, a little Jungian active imagination. Nothing too interesting. I wish we could have made it. I'm jealous of the boys. Getting to have all the fun in New York City. I told him I'd never been to New York City. I've never been. And I told him the CPI event was only the second time I've ever been to Chicago. I went once when I was 14. And second time I ever went, I was 35. So only 2 times to the old Chicago. I'm going to drive a little bit around my hometown here. Maybe I'll show you guys a couple of my favorite houses in town. No one has any idea where I am. I've realized from traveling a little around the country that I am so far out in the middle of nowhere that it's not like someone would be like, I know where you are. It's like, I know where he is, and oh my God, how in the world do I get to him? Not worth it. So, well, I hope you've had a good week, my friend. I hope things are going well. I'm just putting the work in. I decided I'd stream for a couple hours to see what comes up. And I was saying before you hopped on that it's so weird now, the world we live in, where you can just hook up your phone, hit go live, and anyone on the planet can technically watch exactly what you're doing. That's a crazy world we live in. Now, granted, this is all a giant DARPA project, and it does kind of feel like not only can they spy on you all the time through this mechanism, but they can also just compile. You're pretty much, by streaming online or doing anything online, you're building a file on yourself. I think about that sometimes. My paranoid tendencies will take over. But also, at the same time, what are you going to do? This is like I said earlier in the stream. I'm 35. The good book says you get 70 years. I'm halfway there. Time to quit living scared. Have a little fun. Live dangerously. That's right. Live dangerously. It's kind of funny. Even like the little town I live in still has the kind of ritzy suburbs on the outside where all the pretty houses are. Even in a town of 5,000 people, 2 hours away from an airport, still exists. But it's funny growing up here, you think, oh, that person's rich or something like that. And then when you travel even just a little bit, you realize, oh no, there was nobody rich where I live. Not really. We're all the same. But I think Marx even has a line about that, how like being better off is just entirely relative. It's just a human comparison, you know. Can't remember exactly what he said, but something like that. Just drove by a place. One of my friends I met wrote a newspaper article, and he owned a very successful business in town repairing movie screens around the country. And his office was right back there. He'd have some people work for him, go around, repair movie screens all over the country. He did pretty well. I met a lot of people when I wrote for the little small town paper. There's a book, I think it's called Winesburg, Ohio, and it's just little vignettes of people that live in this small town. Oh, well, hey, thank you, Lump of Logic. That makes me feel good. Especially because my channel's so small, you know, and you just feel kind of like you're speaking into the void. But I talked about earlier how that's okay too. That's okay too. Because I don't know. I feel like if I do grow an audience like organically, that I'll be ready for it because I put the work in, you know. But I really appreciate that. It's a little comment. There's a great quote by Mark Twain. He said, I can live for 3 weeks off a good compliment. And I agree wholeheartedly. So thank you so much. Love you. Don't feel obligated to stick around. You know, you go do what you got to do. The internet's a big, wide place, but it feels good. I appreciate you saying that. That was really nice. But yeah, Winesburg, Ohio is this book written by Sherwood Anderson, which I had a really awesome professor in college, and he had us read it. It's like 12 little vignettes about these grotesque characters that live in Winesburg, Ohio. I'm going to show you guys some of the ritzy places and big town I live in here. Hang on, let me try to get this out. Can't really see. That's all dark. Let me try to show you. Kind of see it a little bit. Nah, we're not going to be able to see. I'll have to take you back out here. I'll have to take you back out here in the daytime sometime. There's one. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of nice house outside of town. Up here on the left is my favorite house in the whole city I live in. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but I like to drive by it and just dream. Maybe I could live there one day when my big YouTube career takes off. It's so pretty. Kind of hard to see it. Oh, yeah, it's not going to focus. It's too dark. I'll have to show you some other time when it's nicer out. It's really pretty. It's kind of a Victorian house. Modern Victorian house. I'll show you some other time. But I'm about to where I want to be. Pop this back in here. Come on, pop back in. There we go. All right, now we're back in the phone case. Okay. 104.54. We got about 15 minutes, and we'll call it a stream. Call it a stream. It's kind of fun to drive around in your old hometown. Remember bonfires you had in this yard by that lake, and Now we're out on this highway here. I used to play flashlight tag with some friends in that house over there when we were kids. We played Nintendo 64. Now he's a dentist who lives in a gated community in Kansas City. Good for you, Phil. I'm proud of you. You did it, buddy. Brings me back. I just had really fond, warm, fuzzy feelings thinking about that. It's nice. Um, I don't know, man. And I'm very blessed. I feel very blessed. I was talking earlier in the stream about trying to get those taxes straightened out, and I'm very blessed, man. I have a beautiful family, a beautiful wife, a job I really love to do, hope for the future. I have a political ideology that helps me understand what's going on in a chaotic world. I have friends that are willing to work with me to try to build a better world. And I really like that. I was reading Wallace Wattles' the Science of Being Great, and I really like that idea that we are all a part of God. And I think it's originally a Hermetic idea, but the idea that we're all a part of God, and creation is half finished, and I am God, but you are also God, and we should respect each other as such. And I know Marxism is very, materialistic, as they say. But I think we have to make some place for the spirit, because if I see you as God and you see me as God, how can I colonize your country? I can't. Maybe that's why I don't know. I know in the Middle Ages they went a little too far, but I feel like dialectically, I think we need to make a move back to the spirit. We've made a move very far into the material, and I think we need to make a move back to the spirit. But we can co-create, and what's a great tool in the material world to co-create the world that we divine beings deserve is, to me, Marxism-Leninism. And I feel that squishing my own Christianity together with Marxism-Leninism, Christianity for my soul, Marxism-Leninism for my body. And I've gotten a lot out of Buddhism too. I used to go to the Buddhist Sangha 2 or 3 times a week when I lived in the college town, Columbia. It was attached to Unity Church, a New Thought church. It just all kind of comes together for me. It really does. My whole life is a ping pong ball here and there till it all kind of comes together. I could park here in the parking lot of the local grocery store where I used to work when I was in high school in the pharmacy. I've joked that I'm just reliving my own high school life again, except now I just get paid all day long. It's kind of interesting to think about. It's a cop camped out back there. I always know, some people will be like, my mom always told me when I was a kid, like, don't drive around with the lights on in the car, you'll get in trouble. But I never knew if that was actually true or not. I don't know if you can have the lights on in your car or if you do get in trouble for that. I don't know. It's a pretty good place to park. This is kind of what I I was thinking about. Down here at the end of the street, it is kind of like a rest stop for truckers, it looks like. I saw one truck at the end of the way with his lights on. You can see some other trucks parked out, but it's way back here at the edge of town, and I think it'll be a good place to stop for 10 minutes and finish what we gotta say. See how much light I have if I turn... Oh, took another picture. If I turn the cab lights off... Not much. Not much from the old street light. So we'll leave it like that. Oh, this guy's at the edge of the town. Oh, he's pulling in there. Let's see what he's saying. Just nice to get away, you know? That's a nice car. Let's back up a little bit. It's nice to just get away from everybody. I like to feel like I was off by myself when I do this thing. They're just driving around. Oh. I got a few thoughts on tape tonight. It's been nice. Make a little content. Mainly just stay in the habit of it, you know? What's going on in the world? Ukraine. Appears Russia's gearing up to pretty much go in and end it once the ground freezes over. Massing their troops. I haven't watched Putin's new speech today. I'll probably watch it right after this, honestly. See what he had to say. I saw the Duran's new video. They were talking about Germany might ban the SPD, which I guess they have some F-word leanings, if you will. But I don't believe almost anything I hear about stuff like that anymore. I think they're just standing up against the European Union. They probably did say a R-word thing or two, but it's obvious they just can't handle any sort of critique and ban all critics. That Ursula von der Leyen speech or whatever it was, where she was talking about Africa, like how we need to get to the minerals in Africa before the Chinese and the Russians do. I was like, God, they're not even hiding this anymore. It's just naked self-interest, naked colonialism. Just amazing. Ugh. You know what? I think I'm going to go visit my dad. I haven't seen my dad in a while. By the time we get over there, it'll be 2 hours. 2 hours of streaming. I actually like the gear shift here because it covers up how many people are watching, which I never like to know. I'm glad anybody that's here. It's a pleasure to have you. You could be anywhere on the internet right now, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. I even had someone tell me my, what'd she say? Can I see it? Can I go back and see it? Oh, I can. Your insights are interesting. Oh, it's wonderful. I could live forever off that compliment. So nice to hear. So nice to hear. That truck's got his lights kind of still on. That's interesting. I do just for the future. I'm going to park here and just see how well the lights from the local shopping center would be for a late night live stream if I needed to do it in a pinch in the future. Exploring my own hometown's accommodations here. Let's see. Try to park in a particularly bright spot. Maybe like right here. And let's just see how that would work. I turn these off. Hey, that's not too bad. Not too good, but it's not too bad. That's darker. Maybe back here. Yeah, just a place to chill. It's kind of chill. This is where I used to work in high school. I worked right in the pharmacy, right over there, that drive-up window, 20 years ago. Oh boy. Takes me back. All right. Almost to 2 hours, internet. We're going to drive to Dad's, go in and chill with Dad for a minute, call it a night. All right? This is nice. I can just go live on my phone and do little, like, on-the-spot interviews. We can even get Dad on a live stream or two. Oh, man, why is Siri coming on? I don't want you on, Siri. We don't need you on. There's the bowling alley. That used to be it's called Cash and Carry. Discount Grocery. There's one of Salem's 2 Mexican restaurants. There's the bank, owned by the same family that owns a grocery store we just looked at. I was good friends with their son in school. He's a super nice guy. You wanted to hate him because he had all the money and he was popular and quarterback of the football team, but he was so nice. We loved him. He's one of my good friends. I love you, Nate. Good guy. My grandma's buried right over there in the cemetery. Grandma Shirley. We love you. We miss you. Best lady I always said, if you need something taken back to Walmart, she's your lady. She's the one. She loved her grandkids to death. She bought me about 1 million Happy Meals. Can't hate on that, Grandma. Pizza Hut. Here on the left is where all the high school kids hang out. The Crossroads. They call it Crossroads. I don't really think we hung out there when I was in high school. They more hung out at Sonic back there. That's probably a better place, though. Right in the middle of town, you can see everybody. See what's going on for the night. I never really fit in with the parking in the middle of town people. They're a little too tough. It's a little too hipster for them, I guess. We just got a brand new dirt cheap liquors in the middle of town. You can tell the economy's going well. And we got rid of the Dollar General moved next door. So they had place for a rent to own place, which is that's the 3 new shops they got there. That's a good sign for the local economy. We got a dirt cheap corporate liquor store, a rent to own, and a Dollar General, and a Walmart. What more do you need, America? What more do you need? This Coin Op Laundry always has some funny things on it, on the sign. But I don't know. I like living here. I do. You can get anything you need delivered to you. I guess you can get that almost anywhere in America now, which is pretty amazing. I guess, although we've had that for like 100 years, you said to get what, a Sears catalog? Yeah. Now the Sears catalog's online, but it's not really any different, you know. Being online is crazy, though. Everybody can get on this thing, say whatever they want. I always said, that was one of my jokes is in my town, they paved a whole forest to build it one Dollar Tree. That was right back there. The Dollar Tree. We also have a Dollar Tree. My little girls love to go in the Dollar Tree because they can always get a toy. There's the church I grew up in, Baptist church. And here's where my pops lives in this little apartment. So I'm going to go in and say hi to my dad. Visit him for a minute. He'll like to know I'm visiting him. Oop. So, all right, Internet. We did our weekly live stream. There's probably some interesting parts in there. But like I said, it was mainly just to keep me lubricated for the live stream live. I love y'all, and I'll see you next week. Let's figure out how to end this thing. Not like that. Can I click that? Do I gotta just hit the X? It's not the chat. It's not the filter. It's not the camera flip. Well, there's only one more button, people. And if it deletes everything I did, I'm gonna hate it. But it's a risk we gotta take. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Farewell. One way or another. I'll see you on the other side. I love y'all. Peace.